My name is Wilfred Mokto. Today, I will walk you through my process of hacking the Kiops one VMs from scanning for vulnerability to getting a root access. Let's dive in. This presentation provides a brief overview of ethical hacking and the use of virtual machines in penetration testing. The lab environment consists of two key systems, Kiops Level 1 and Kali Linux. The primary objective of this lab is to demonstrate functional penetration testing technique including enumeration, vulnerability, mapping, and exploitation. Before starting, we have to make sure that KEP 1 and Kali are up and running and check if they are both well configured. You can see on this slide that I configure network adapter to host only on both VMs. Enumeration and footprinting. To proceed with enumeration, we firstly run the command if config on Kali needs to get his IP address. After run that, we obtain the IP 192.168.56.3. After that, we run the command nmap 192.168.56.0/24 to scan the ancient network for the active host and open port. The output shows four hosts show that four hosts are up, and we can see that the host 192.168.56.1 and 192.168.56.2 and 192.168.56.3 have no open ports. However, the .4 has several exposed services, include SSH that is port 2, HTTP port 80, RPC port 111, NetBIOS port 139, HTTPS port 443, and the high port 32 768. Additional nmap command that well. This commands, the first command that we run is nmap is dash top dash port is in space 20 on on the on the target machine 192.168.56.4, who are our characteristics machine. This command scan the top 20 most commonly used port on the characteristics VM. On on this picture, we can see open ports that we have. We see that the port 22, port 80, port 111, port 443, port 443, port 139 are all open. And then we can see that the close port, the common close port that we see, we have a port 21 for FTP, port 23 for Telnet, port 25 for SMTP, port 3306 for MySQL. Those are the closest port. I mean, okay. The second command then we we type nm map dash s dash x on our Coptris machine, that is 192.168.56.4. This command performs the X mass scan, who is the who is a specialized type of TCP port scan designed to bypass basic firewall rule and detect open port secretly. Instead of using the standard sync or flow connect method, the Christmas can send TCP packet with the FIN, PSH, and URG flag set, making the packet appear like Christmas tree with all flag light up. In 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 the given port, MMAP report 6 ports in an open file state. The simple that we see earlier, 22, 80, 111, 131, 443, and 32, 768. The third command that we want is nmap the script evolve, and we put the target machine IP address. This command run a vulnerability scan using nmap's build in script to check for known secure flaw on the keypress. The scan reveals HTTP port E80 and HTTPS port 443 vulnerability. We see that the SSL portals, the HTTPS service is vulnerable to a man in the middle attack due to outrage SL version 3 support. Logian weak different key exchange allows downgrade to 512 bit encryption. OSS flow permitted session eject trace method enable potential accessories. Interests directory expose Apache 1.3.12 SMB port 139 vulnerability. That's all those vulnerabilities that we get after run the command nmap dash Christmas scan. We have the uh, SMB for on port 139. Critical SMB version 2 flaw allowing remote code execution through the target may not be fully vulnerable or negotiation failed. Flow hypothesis methodology. The flow hypothesis methodology is a structural approach used in vulnerability analysis to systematically identify potential vulnerability in a system. It emphasizes on, understanding and analyzing how flow or weaknesses is in the system design, implementation, and configuration. Hypothesis: the KOPSIS the KOPSIS one machine has multiple exploitable vulnerability due to the outlet services and the reconfiguration. They have multiple vulnerability as we saw on the last slide. Okay. Now Flow analysis. This flow analysis, this flow allows a man in the middle, an attacker to decrypt and encrypt data by exploiting the way SSL 3.0 handle padding in CBC mode. The root cause of the SSL border vulnerability is the non-deterministic CBC padding used in the SSL 3.0. This flow allows remote attackers to execute arbitrary code or cause a denial of service by sending specially crafted packets. The root cause of the SMB version 2 exploit is an array index error in the handling of the process ID. Excuse me. Vulnerability map. Here on the vulnerability map, we can see on this table we have the port, we have the service, and we have vulnerability. For the port 22, the service is SSH open SSH 2.9, and the vulnerability outdated version and SSH version 1 support lack hacking. The port area on the port area, the the service is HTTP Apache HTTPD, and the vulnerability we have the outdated version, trace method enable, and interesting the, the directories. On the port 111, who is the RFE belong to RPC. The vulnerability is RPC bomb. The port 139 don't have the service and NetBIOS SNS, and the vulnerability is SMB version 2 negotiation vulnerabilities. And the port 443, that's the HTTPS, that's Apache 2 on Unix, and the vulnerability is OpenSSL CCS injection, Langham, Podel, SS version 2 support, lacking expire SSL certification. Conclusion. This ethical hacking lab underscored the critical danger of unpatched system as demonstrated by our successful exploitation of CUPS 1, outdated Apache, and open SSH services. Through nmap enumeration and exploitation, we transform theoretical vulnerability into real root access. A star reminder that attacker need only one unpatched flow to compromise an entire system. I'm sorry. These findings emphasize the non-negotiable role of proactive vulnerabilities management. Our organization must prioritize regular scanning, patch automation, and the defense in deep strategy to mitigate such risks. As the defender, our mission is clear: stay one step ahead by treating every system like it's already a target. Thank you to listen.